Hello friends, welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and if this is the first video of mine that you're catching, welcome. My name is Rachel and I'm a reseller on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And I love doing unboxings on this channel. Every time I order a new mystery box that I'm going to stock my own store with, I open it live on this channel, and then I come back in a few months and I let you know how I did with the box. I show you what sold. I give you my numbers, and hopefully it helps you with your own reseller business make decisions on what to source. So today I am doing an update on the Ralph Lauren brands box that I sourced from Helpsy, which is now called NuSource. So if you want to see how I did with this one, definitely stick around. So this box, the reason I bought this, I'm not really big on Ralph Lauren. Even when I used to thrift a lot, it wasn't a brand that I would really, I know to look for like the black label and the purple label, but other than that, it wasn't something really on my radar. But what made me want to order this is that Helpsy, so I'm an affiliate with Helpsy, and they don't let me see like who's ordering what, but I can see which boxes are being ordered. And I noticed over a few months time span that every time this box would come for sale, it would sell out immediately, and people were using my code to order it. So I was like, what is it about this one box and this one brand that people are so after? Because sometimes, the boxes sit on the site and they sit and, people don't buy them. But this particular one, there's a couple like this, but this one, like in particular, just flies out as soon as they list it for sale, it seems like. So I wanted to know what it was and try it for myself. So I did finally get my hands on one, and I'll link the original video down below if you want to watch the unboxing. But I listed all this stuff back in February/March of 2025. It's now August. It's time for an update. So let's talk about it. If you like reseller content, certainly consider subscribing to the channel. Anytime I do an unboxing, I follow it up with an update so you can see how it did for me. I also do lots of reseller strategy videos, and I've been doing ship with me videos too, which have been super fun. So I'd love to see you again. Hit that like button if you could, and let me know if you ever ordered this box. With the Helpsy or NuSource boxes, when they say Ralph Lauren brands, it's going to be everything under that umbrella. If the tag has one of those brands on it, it's going in the box. And other than that, it's sort of a crapshoot what you get. Your assortment is totally up in the air. They sort by brand. So your box, if you ordered it, may be totally different than mine, and I'd love to hear your results too. So this was a 40-piece box. I actually listed 39 out of the 40 pieces, which for a secondhand Helpsy box is fantastic. That's almost 100% of everything. That's crazy. It never, usually there's about 15 to 20%, maybe sometimes even more, that I don't list. So there was only one thing this time. That's amazing. So of the 39, I have sold 32, and I have 7 left. So I'll show you over here what sold, how much it sold for. I'll talk about what platform it sold on, how long it took to sell. Then I'll show you what I have left. And then at the very end, we'll talk numbers, and I will give my recommendation, and I'll rate the box and let you know if I would get another one based on my results. So I paid $256.62 for this box. I listed 39 out of 40 pieces. That put my cost per piece at $6.58 per piece. So do keep that in mind as we go through this. The first couple I sold, I had reduced the price down to $10 and then sold during my Poshmark 5 for 25 sale. Either my 5 for 25 sale video is coming up, or I'll link it down below if I've already posted it. I'm not sure when that one's going to go live versus when this one goes live. So, but a lot of you have asked me, how do I run that sale? I do have that video coming. But there were 5 items that I sold in bundles during that sale. So I'll run through those pretty quickly. All of these sold for $5 a piece. There was this purple pop over top. This was Ralph Lauren, which, by the way, those of you that finally said something that, hey, Rachel, Ralph Lauren, not Ralph Lauren. I am the queen of mispronouncing brands. I appreciate you telling me so that I can pronounce it correctly. So Ralph Lauren. Then I had the white ruffle sleeve top Ralph Lauren. This was a size large. There was this green lettuce hem top. This was so Y2K. I really thought this one was going to do better, especially for summer, but it did not. Also Ralph Lauren. Most of this stuff was LRL, Ralph Lauren. So I'm probably just going to tell you if it was something other than Ralph Lauren, so I don't have to keep saying that over and over. There was this pink button front denim jacket from Lauren Jeans Co. So that one was a little bit different. And there was this striped blue long sleeve top. The shoulders had like faux leather patches. So to me, it was definitely a dated style. I'm not really surprised that that didn't sell, but it was dated like not in a good way, not in a like vintage Y2K 90s way, in a, ooh, who's going to wear that kind of way? So I get it. Then I sold a couple pieces at $10, one on Poshmark, one on eBay. But what I did was reduce everything down to $10 and then say 5 for $25. And there were a few things, not necessarily just this brand, but this box, but like otherwise that just sold for $10. So this pink cotton crew neck t-shirt, this was Polo Ralph Lauren. This one was a size large and sold on Poshmark for $10 right before I started my 5 for $25 sale. Then there was this denim popover tunic top. This one was a medium. This one sold on eBay for $10. This one sold before I did my sale, and also this was also on eBay. So I think somebody offered me $10, and I knew that this had been listed over 90 days, so I went ahead and took it. Actually, the next few are eBay sales here. I've got this beige ribbed V-neck short sleeve cotton top. This was very plain. It was an $11 eBay sale, and it was listed almost the 3 months. So then there were these navy blue slim fit trousers. These were RLX, which I learned probably from one of you guys. RLX is Ralph Lauren Sport, and which makes sense. These were very much like golf pants. So these were only listed 2 weeks, and they sold on eBay for $12.27. I listed these kind of low, if I'm being honest, because I didn't know what they were or if they were going to sell, but they were in good condition, so I listed them anyway. In hindsight, I feel like I maybe should have listed them a little bit higher. Apparently, the RLX line is a little bit more sought after than I realized. So it is what it is. I had this paisley patchwork floral t-shirt. This was a size petite large. This was a very boho t-shirt, but it was also very old. Definitely Y2K, but like maybe in a good way. So this one sold on eBay for $12.99. It took about 2.5 months. Then there was the purple Pima cotton quarter zip sweater. I had higher hopes for this one. It was a sweater though, and I listed it in March. It did sell just a couple weeks ago from today, beginning of August. And this one was a $15 eBay sale. Again, I knew I was ready to move stuff out. I knew this box was over 90 days and I was going to do this update soon. So when somebody offered me $15, I went ahead and took it. There were these reddish orange paisley pants. These were a $15 Poshmark sale. These were listed about 3 months as well. Again, old, but in a more boho, okay-ish kind of way. Probably at least 20 years old though, if I had to guess. There were these white chino Bermuda shorts. These were LRL, that's hard to say, Lauren Jeans Co. And these sold on June 6th on eBay for $15. So again, old-ish, maybe in a good way, in an okay way. $15 is still not great, but definitely a dated style. So I am glad that they sold. There's this red-orange tunic top, size large. This one sold on Poshmark in July for $16. Very meh. Some of this stuff I listed just to see how it did. Maybe not necessarily stuff that I would have thrifted, but since I had it, I wanted to list it and see how it did. There was a pair of straight leg khaki pants. These were a size 14, and these also sold for $16 on Poshmark. These were listed less than 2 weeks. I think somebody sent me an offer and I went ahead and accepted it. There was this green and white striped slim fit button down top. This was also women's, and this sold in about 3 weeks on Poshmark for $16. There was this one and one other of these like striped, very preppy shirts, and I didn't really expect them to do very well, but they got a ton of interest really fast. So I almost wonder if I could have gotten more for these if they are a sought after style and I just did not know that. Then I had this one shoulder floral top. So this was Ralph Lauren, Ralph Lauren, but the label was black. So I don't know if that's good or bad. When I looked up comps, people put in the title like Black Label, although I don't think it's the same like Black Label Ralph Lauren that is the super high dollar one. I doubt it. But there were a lot of the sell-through rate was really good on this one top. So I ended up selling it for $17 in a week on eBay, and that was pretty on par with what the comps were suggesting. So there were a lot of solds, but they weren't sold for a lot of money. So I was happy with the sale. It was a fast sale. And I don't think it was like the most current style. It definitely wasn't a current style. And one shoulder, it's very right buyer. So I was glad to sell that quickly. Then there was the mocha tan khaki pants. I don't know what these were called. They didn't have a specific name, but they were new with tags. So that helped these out, I think. These sold in about 2 months on eBay for $21. There was this red and cream floral midi dress, which was Denim and Supply. That is a Ralph Lauren diffusion line. It's, as far as I know, they don't make it anymore, but it was a much more like boho line of clothing. And this can actually be kind of sought after because it's not made anymore. But this one sold a little less than 2 months on Poshmark for $22 by offer. So not a ton. It was a size 6. It was a cute dress. I guess it wasn't one of the really sought after Denim and Supply items, but I am glad that it sold. There was this was the other one, the yellow and white striped button front shirt. This one sold in 2 days on eBay for $24.99, which was my full asking price. So I do almost wonder, should I have charged more for that shirt and the green one too? There was this pale pink linen flare skirt. This one was a size 4. This one took about 2 months to sell and it sold on eBay for $25. I was hoping to get a little more for this, but when somebody sent me a $25 offer, it had already been listed for 2 months. I went ahead and accepted it. There was the Silk Blend tiered maxi skirt. This was a size large and sold on eBay for $25.28. So I think I had it for maybe $29.99, and then I sent like an offer to the watchers and somebody accepted it, which is why it's kind of a weird amount. Either that or I was running a sale. But either way, it was discounted a little bit from what my original price was. There's this white cable knit sweater in a size extra large. This one sold very quickly as well. This one sold in just 11 days on eBay for $29.74. Same deal with this. It was either on sale or I sent an offer to watchers that got accepted. There's a floral silk ruffle shirt in black. This was also a quick sale. It was sold on eBay for $30 in less than a week. Didn't really have high hopes for this one because it's a skirt, but it was very boho. And, I'm happy that that sold quickly. It's not often that I sell a skirt that quickly. There was this floral crepe wrap dress. This one was a size 4. This one sold in June on Poshmark for $34 by offer. So my Posher VA, I have it set to send out 10% off offers with discounted shipping 5 minutes after someone likes the item. So Posher VA sent out that offer and then somebody purchased the item after the offer was sent. There was the ivory crest embroidered silk blouse. And this is like the definition of Ralph Lauren, this blouse. It was that off-white preppy silk embroidered insignia on the pocket. And this one sold on eBay in just a week for $35. I think somebody sent me an offer that I accepted. Kind of think I might have been able to get more for this, but I'll still take $35. I had the Tompkins skinny jeans in white. These were high-rise ankle skinny jeans. They were new with tag, dated style. Didn't have super high hopes for these because they were skinny jeans, but they did end up selling on eBay about just shy of 3 months, it looks like, at the end of June for $39.99, which was my full asking price. So, hey, I'll take it. There was this brown faux fur coat, and this was heavy, and comps looked pretty decent on this. However, mine did not have a size tag, and I hate listing things without size tags. It's very rare that I do that and list based on measurements, but I felt that this piece was substantial enough that I was going to try it. I did sell it in about 6 weeks on Poshmark for $40. And like I said, I think I could have gotten much more if it had a size tag and I could have been sure of the size. I tried it on and it fit me pretty good, so I listed it as an extra large because typically that's what I would wear in jackets. Maybe it was a large, maybe it was a 2X. I don't really know. I couldn't find a similar listing with the same measurements. So that was sort of like get whatever you can for it because otherwise you wouldn't list it anyway. But it's too pretty to not list. I had the lace bell sleeve ruched dress in purple. This had very like mother of the bride type vibes. Definitely, I don't want to say an older style, but maybe a style for an older crowd. But this sold on Poshmark for $40 as well in 5 weeks. So that one was new with tag. So $40 I think was great for that one. I had the red cowl neck 3/4 sleeve sheath dress. This one was a size 16. This one I thought was very pretty. I'm not surprised that this one sold quickly. Also sold on Poshmark for $40 in a week. I had the vintage wide leg cargo pants, and I knew for sure right away, like, I'm not big on selling Ralph Lauren. I don't know it well, but if I would have seen these in the thrift store, I probably would have known enough to pick these up. They were vintage in the best Y2K way possible. And these were by Polo Jeans Co. And these sold on eBay for $50.99 in 2 days. So I think I sent an offer to Watchers and somebody accepted. Maybe I should have listed these higher as well. They were super cool, super cool Y2K pants. I think I remember when I was in high school, these would have been a very popular style. And I was in high school in the early 2000s. So definitely cool pants. And then the highest selling item in the box, which almost barely made this countdown, just by a sliver. This was that vintage toggle front denim jacket. Totally 80s, 90s vibes. This was Ralph Lauren, not Ralph Lauren. This one sold in the middle of August, just a few days before I'm filming this. And somebody sent me a $55 offer. I had it listed much higher. I was hoping to get more for it, but it had already been listed 5 months. I am trying to consolidate my inventory a bit, so getting rid of it wouldn't have been the worst thing. It is big, it is bulky, and you know what? I was getting ready to film the video, so I'm like, why not throw in one more really good sale out of this box? That would be great. So disappointed I didn't get more. Really happy that it did sell before I updated you on this box. So that's everything that sold. I do have 7 items that are left. Here's what's still remaining in my inventory. I've got this dark blue quilted down coat. This is going to be an easy sale come winter. I listed it March 11th. I kind of figured it wasn't going to sell as we rolled into spring. I do think I can sell it no problem as we get into fall. I have this tartan Georgette tie neck t-shirt. Again, seasonally, this is very much holiday time in the office, work Christmas party vibes. Like, not surprised this didn't sell in the spring and summer. I have the white tweed blazer jacket. Again, a very fall piece, and it's a good size. I'm not sure if we're doing tweed right now or if we're not doing tweed right now. I feel like tweed goes in and out very quickly. But I do still have that one. So again, very much a fall piece. I've got this other red lacy sheath dress. The other red dress I got was a quick sale. This one is the same size, a size 16, and this one is still here. But again, Christmas party anyone, like, I think I will sell this pretty quickly as we roll into fall. There's this light blue ruffle sleeve sheath dress in a size 6. This is the only thing that I'm kind of like not super confident on as far as what's left. Well, actually the next two, I guess. this isn't a super overwhelmingly exciting style. And neither is the size. So I don't have high hopes for this. This one might end up going to thread up as I continue to consolidate a little more. This is probably at the top of the chopping block. Same with this one. This is a white houndstooth dress. Very like business attire. The thing with this, so this one is new with tag. It is an older style though, and it's a size 0. So it's a little bit of a harder sale in my opinion. I'm going to give it a few months as we get into fall. So yeah, I think that one's has a little bit of a chance, but I'm going to send it to thread up maybe in October, November if it does not. Okay, so that is everything. Let's talk about the results of this box. I am going to do my rating based on ease of listing, quality of items, and overall profitability from the very high, holy grail, best box ever. So glad I got this. Wish I could get another one. It was very profitable. Then there's oh yeah, which is not necessarily the best box ever, but still highly profitable. Absolutely, I would order this again. Then there's, of course, oh okay, if it's just meh. Oh no, if yikes, that was a lot of work for a little return, or a straight up dumpster fire if I've sold everything I can, I didn't even make my money back, it's a loss. So if we're talking ease of listing, I'm going to give it an oh okay. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't super easy. It was a pretty much run-of-the-mill secondhand box. Stuff is older. I need to do research. It's not like the new with tag first quality stuff I get in where I can just like pull the style name off a tag and get the information and find comps easy. I had to go a little slower with this one and really look stuff up. So not bad, not super quick. So oh okay, which is fine. Quality of items for a secondhand box, I think it was good variety. And the fact that I was able to list 39 out of 40, I'm going to give that an oh yeah. I was very happy with the quality of items in this box. And like I said, it's borderline like unusual for a Helpsy source, now NuSource box to be so listable. I know you want it to be listable. It's a mystery box that you're trying to sell, but typically there's about a 15 to 20% flaw rate and stuff that I just can't list or I don't think is worth listing. So the fact that I got so much was pretty cool out of this one. So that brings us to overall profitability. To recap, I paid $256.62 for this box, and that is with the tax, the shipping, all of that. And plus minus my 10% discount with my affiliate code, which they let me use my own affiliate code, I think is awesome. And as of right now, my profit on this box after platform fees is $557.39. So if I take my $557.39 minus my initial investment of $256.62, I've made $300 on this box. So I have doubled my money and then some, which is awesome for a secondhand box. And I still have several fairly substantial pieces left that I could probably still sell come fall and winter. So all of that being said, I'm going to give this one an oh yeah. Not quite a holy grail. Maybe if I would have tripled my money on a secondhand box, I would have called it a holy grail because that never happens. But to have doubled my money on this box with like, what did I say, 7 items remaining and 6 items that I sold for $5 a piece, I would say that yes, this box for the cost and what came inside is definitely an oh yeah. Would I order another one of these? Definitely I would. And I totally understand now why this box, every time it comes in stock, it goes out of stock right away. It makes total sense to me why people would want this. And I just, in general, did not realize that Ralph Lauren was so sought after the clothing. So I learned something new with this too. So that's a bonus. So yeah, that's my results for this one. Definitely let me know down below if you ordered this, how you did. Hit that like button on the way out if you could. That definitely helps the channel. And make sure you subscribe if you like videos like this. I've got more coming up, so I would love to see you again in a future video. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.